Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Rector Takle. This is a pleasure for me to be here. I have been here a couple of years ago. It's really nice to see all of you again. And we had a very interesting connection with ESPOL. We had one of your students who was very successful, who graduated this year. He worked on nanotechnology as related to mechanical engineering. And then he was hired by Intel to continue working on his research. He started his career at first at ESPOL, then at University of Kentucky, and he really went to the cutting edge industry after that. So I feel very good because 2 years ago we were here, we talked with him. He made a presentation and I made a presentation, and many of you may remember him. Well, first of all, let me give you an idea. I am a professor in mechanical engineering, as Cecilia mentioned. I work on typical mechanical engineering areas, but in the last couple of years, maybe 5 years, we started working on the problems related to smaller scale. And along with this came the nanoscale engineering, sciences, and different applications. Well, University of Kentucky has been doing research in many areas, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, all over the years. But the cutting edge research is now getting more important, and its impact for industry is becoming more visible. So when I was preparing this slide, I thought about where I would start. I thought about what we did with Cecilia. This was our picture 2 years ago, right in front of Turtle. Now it's impressive to see ESPOL developing the vision not for the Ecuadorian society, but for the region. And it's really nice to talk about engineering and engineering education. So when I started thinking about this talk, I want to go back and forth. This time I am kind of fortunate because we have 2 other distinguished faculty members, one from Harvard, one from University of Louisville. They will talk about research, current cutting-edge research as related to medical field, biomedical engineering, electrical engineering, and information technology. So I thought maybe I should just talk about other aspects. Maybe I should talk about education and how we can change engineering education, how nanotechnology can start playing a significant role in the education of the engineers. Well, along with this came the idea of using some exciting area, maybe something that excited American students 30, 40 years ago, some kind of excitement that would lead Ecuadorian students in the long run. And with that, I thought about maybe the evolution was one of them, and I'll discuss this as we go. I will let me give you a rough overview of my presentation. I will discuss a little bit about vision, action, and motion, both in literal point of view as well as philosophical point of view. I'll discuss nanosciences and nanotechnology, but without getting into the details Dr. Toner and Dr. Kohn will present. I will discuss engineering programs and how they play a role at the University of Kentucky and all over the other universities. I will give some examples, and I will finish up with some inspirations from nature. First of all, when I think of what an engineer does, I can think of 2 things, well, 3 things: vision, action, and motion. And everything on earth works on these 3 things. All the creatures, all the fish, birds, geckos, iguanas, they all work with the vision, action, and motion. They see, they act. This is also part of the engineering. In engineering, you have to characterize, measure, and after that, you have to start building the things. Engineering enterprise itself works that way, from Intel to General Electric, from Caterpillar to the space agencies. In vision, we just don't talk about what we see, but also what we would like to see. So in a way, it is about the ultimate goal. So in a way, the vision of a university, the vision of a society is critical, as the vision of a given living organism would be. After that, we have to act. That requires energy. And I'm so glad that we are part of this forum here, which is part of the action. This is the follow-up of the vision of ESPOL. And after that, we hope that there will be motion coming from the society itself that's going to motivate more students, and hopefully we'll see more of Ecuadorian students working on nanotechnology and other focused research areas in the long run. Our motivation overall is to build a vibrant society with strong science and engineering infrastructure. Nanotechnology is one of the emerging areas that will help us on achieving this. There are other technologies, of course, biotechnology, information technology, cognitive sciences. They all have to be part of the new science and technology taking place in every developing country. Here we have to emphasize what nanotechnology is. When I talk about nanotechnology here, I'm not talking about anything other than what science was providing. We are still talking about taking the fundamental principles, first principles of physics and chemistry and biology, and applying it to different systems. But in this case, when I say nanotechnology, we are limiting ourselves for size ranges below 100 nanometer, 1 to 100 nanometer. An important thing here is that nanotechnology is enabling technology. I'll show it to you in a second. Let's talk about the scale first. Well, there are some, let me use this slide. Let's start from here. About 1 meter, we are talking about humans. As you go up, well, you see the car, a killer whale, aircraft carrier. You can go all the way to a kilometer, which is about, a few kilometers will make the campus-wide length scale. Coming down, a laptop is about 50 centimeters, 30 centimeters wide. A butterfly is about a few centimeters. Then if you come down to about 1 millimeter or so, right below 1 millimeter, we'll come to resolving power of our eye. We cannot see anything clearly below that range. But if we go down at about 30 micrometer, we see a typical cell, a cell in a body. That cell is a living organism by itself. There are so many small parts of it. If we keep going, nucleus of cell is close to 1 micrometer, and they can all be seen if we use the microscopes. These microscopes will help us because we can use the light, the power of light, which has the wavelengths in the order of maybe half a micrometer or so. At this point, we come to a limit. Below that, we begin to see difficulty. Nature does not allow us to go down without additional insight, additional help from other technological advances. But if we start going down there at about 1 nanometer range, which is the limit of our nanotechnology, we see 4 or 5 atoms. 4 or 5 atoms wide gives us 1 nanometer. How small is 1 nanometer? Let me go back now.